Hi, boys and girls. My story today is called The Easter Ribbit. No, I did not say that incorrectly. Not the Easter rabbit, but the Easter ribbit. It's Easter at the pond, and Froggy's greatest wish is to be an Easter rabbit, but Froggy is a frog. Just when it seems like he won't get his wish, an unusual ad lands on Froggy's log. And an ad is something that's telling somebody they have something available for them. Could this be his dream could come true? Could he become the Easter Ribbit? The Easter Ribbit. Easter was coming, and the bunnies were very, very busy making pretty Easter baskets, carrying jelly beans, and carrying eggs. Froggy watched them from a pond. Sometimes he wished he were a rabbit. They seemed to be having so much fun. Maybe he could convince Turtle to let him paint her eggs before they hatched. Froggy quickly ran to the beach, and Turtle was there covering her eggs with sand. "Ribbit, Ribbit," Froggy called to Turtle. "It's almost Easter. May I paint your eggs?" "Keep quiet," Turtle warned. "Can't you see I'm trying to hide them? If you were to paint them, every bird in the forest would see my eggs and eat them before the babies could hatch and crawl to the water. Now go back to your log and stop bothering me." Froggy walked sadly to his favorite hollow log near the rabbit tree, and he crawled inside. After a long time of feeling sorry for himself, he fell asleep and he had a dream. And in the dream, he wished he was an Easter ribbit. Not quite a rabbit, but not a frog either. He was rushing through the high grass to deliver Easter baskets to all the children, and the baskets were full of things that Froggy loved. Jelly beans, lollipop, flies, tiny fish eggs, seaweed bars, and delicious mosquitoes, too. Ooh, that sounded good until he started talking about mosquitoes and tiny fish eggs. Ooh. Well, suddenly a terrible noise woke up Froggy. He opened his eyes and he peeked out onto the log. The chief Easter bunny, there he is, had just landed in a helicopter. He was carrying armfuls of lists of all the children who needed Easter presents, and Mrs. Rabbit and all of her assistants, they came out to greet him, to say hello. "You are doing a wonderful job," said the chief, "but we need more helpers. Can you handle an extra load of deliveries?" "Oh, dear," said Mrs. Rabbit, "we don't have enough bunnies to deliver the Easter baskets. Flossie and Fernie caught colds last night, and I'm afraid they're running fevers. And Hubert and Henry, well, they hurt their feet squeezing under a fence, and they can't run until next week. What will we do?" Did you hear Henry's name too? "Advertise," said the chief Easter bunny. "Help wanted, Easter rabbit. Help wanted, Easter rabbit. Call Mrs. Duck's employment agency. She can fly over the woods and drop ads for the position tonight. Mrs. Duck's a quack, but she may be able to help us." "All right," said Mrs. Rabbit. "We'll do our best." Mrs. Duck was sound asleep when Mrs. Rabbit called, but she woke up and wrote the ad anyway. Unfortunately, Mrs. Duck was very nearsighted and didn't see her spelling mistake. Instead of hiring for an Easter rabbit, she had written the ad that said, "We need to hire an Easter ribbit." And who ribbits, boys and girls? A frog. "Help wanted, Easter ribbit." One of the ads the paper landed on Froggy's log. Froggy saw it as soon as he woke up the next morning. "An Easter ribbit," said Froggy. "That's me." It was his dream. Quickly he wrote Mrs. Duck's address and he ran to the employment office. Although she couldn't see well, Mrs. Duck suspected that she was looking at a frog. Nevertheless, Froggy was the only client who had come into her office for a very long time, and there wasn't a rabbit in sight. Do you think Froggy will get the job to be an Easter rabbit? Mrs. Duck ran to her storage room and cut out a big pair of bunny ears. She tied them on Froggy's head, and then Mrs. Duck pasted a big cotton ball on Froggy to make a rabbit's tail. Froggy was divinely happy. He ran to Mrs. Rabbit's tree right away. Mrs. Rabbit and all of her assistants were working feverishly to color new eggs and fill new baskets. Glancing quickly at Froggy's big floppy ears, Mrs. Rabbit didn't notice that he was an Easter ribbit and not an Easter rabbit. She pointed to a tall tower of Easter baskets outside the back door and told Froggy to start his deliveries. Froggy looked up at the baskets. "Ribbit," he gasped, "I'll never be able to deliver all of these eggs by Easter." Oh dear. There was only one thing to do. Quickly, he hopped down to the pond. Ribbiting as loud as he could, Froggy called for all of his friends and relatives to help him deliver. Soon, a crowd full of frogs of all shapes and sizes leapfrogged to pick up the basket stacked behind him. Stacked behind Mrs. Rabbit's tree. And if you had been anywhere near Froggy's log at the crack of dawn on Easter morning, you would have seen them marching through the meadow to deliver Easter baskets to the children, and at the head of the parade was Froggy, ribbiting a happy song. The end. And this is called Froggy's Song. And it goes like this. I'm a froggy in a hurry, and I've got to really scurry. Before the sun comes up, while all the kids are sleeping, I'll be hopping, sprinting, leaping. I'm as happy as a pup. I can't be a rabbit, so I'll be an Easter ribbit. It's true I'm green, but if I'm seen, I really can ad-lib it. I'll leave some Easter baskets, and everyone will cheer. A tisket, a tasket, the ribbit has been here. Did Froggy save Easter for the boys and girls? He sure did. I hope you enjoyed this silly story, and I hope you have a happy Easter. I'll see you soon. Love and miss you.